And at your board, Dr. Jackson, today is July the 15th, 2025. I'm in Tacoma with my darling wife, and we're at the Armory. And so we're part of
ACE.
ACE. I what the acronym stands for ACE. Anybody know?
Accelerated Creative Enterprise.
Enterprise. So
Mhm.
African businesses have come together in Tacoma, and there's a group, and so we get access to the Armory, and so we have places, rooms here we can use. And so today they had a meeting, and they brought a bunch of other African American small businesses together, and I had the opportunity to talk to one, and she's sitting in front of me, so I'm going to go like this. Okay, so introduce yourself.
I am Coach Angie Jones. So Angela formally, but I go by Angie. Most of the time I will answer to both. And I am a coach. I'm a strategist with leadership development, honestly. And I founded Ataruka some years ago under a different name, but relaunched that, rebranded as Ataruka about 3 years ago.
So
And
Ataruka is the name of the
it's the
company.
name of the company,
Okay.
and it's a Swahili name that
Ah.
means to leap or to jump. So
Okay.
I wanted to make sure that there was some transformative nature to the name of my company, and keeping it consistent to what I had originally named it, and also because that's the action that people take when they come and coach.
Very
right?
good.
Come work with me.
So,
And
Coach,
so,
how do you
yeah.
get the name Coach?
It's I call myself the coach, and I
Oh.
just introduce myself with it because
Okay.
it's just what I've done. It's something that I discovered it as a job years ago, but I discovered it and realized, oh my gosh, you've been doing this your whole life, right? I've worn many titles, proud of them all.
Okay.
Lay pastor. I've been in sales and marketing. I was in the military for a little while.
Okay.
I was like our precious chef out here. I was just talking to her about how that was once a hat that I wore for many years.
Oh, wow.
And so I really have appreciated my life and all of the experiences that it has led up to.
Wonderful.
And it's fed into what I get to do now, which is work with high performing leaders and just even leaders in development, leaders that don't even realize what they have already.
Wow. So where were you born?
I was born in El Paso, Texas. My dad was a military man.
Okay.
And Fort Bliss is, I was born at the hospital out there at Fort Bliss.
Right.
And I have a little sister who was born in Germany, in Wurzburg,
Okay.
for the same reason.
Right. Oh, no,
It died.
I know the battery's okay. I think I don't have it perfectly balanced. That's what it is. But it's still recording. So
Okay.
I'll edit that. I'll have to take a time. Let's see if it stays. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and so my dad was military, so we traveled around and did a lot. You know a little bit about that life.
Yes.
You kind of stayed in the East Coast area for a long time
Right.
before getting out this way, but we kind of traveled a little bit more the South in that area, so
Okay.
Texas, Tennessee.
Right.
We even hit Hawaii for a minute,
Oh, wow.
Germany for a
Okay.
minute, California. So yeah, those were the kind of areas that we were in, and then we landed in Tennessee, Kentucky area, so
Okay.
Fort Campbell. And then I joined the military from that spot myself and
What
ended
branch?
up Army.
Army,
Yeah.
okay.
And
Your
I did
dad
a
was in
little
the Army also? or-
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Did a
Okay.
little short stint. He wasn't happy about me joining.
No?
He was okay afterwards, but no, he was like, "Why did you do that?" But anyway,
Oh, okay.
but ended up in Korea for my first duty station, and then back to Fort Campbell again. So I ended up my little short tour began and ended there, and it's essentially home at the time. But
Right.
this is home now.
Okay.
My marriage ended me out here, and although that's not anymore, we're
Aw.
still here and doing our thing and got our kids and
Okay.
my kids. I've got grandkids. Like my kids are 33 and 29.
Oh, wow.
And I have 4 grandchildren
Okay.
between the ages of 9 and 5 months.
Okay.
so I am enjoying my stage of life right
Yes.
now, where last summer, I decided to go full time with my coaching business
Mhm.
and just give it the time that I wanted to give it. And that's really mostly why. And so I'm in the process of building it up, which brings us to what we were talking about earlier tonight,
Right.
which is an event that's coming up next week, Tuesday on July 22nd, right here at the Tacoma Armory.
Right.
Tacoma Arms Live spacing. We are going to be hosting a workshop called How to Thrive Through the Shakeup.
Okay.
And it is to develop the leader's resilient toolkit. So we want to be a resilient leader in these hard times. Things are chaotic right now, and we're just going to work through some of those things. And what does that look like to be, to not just survive it, but to thrive in it? Because
Right.
I believe, as people of color and as leaders, period, we have the ability to turn this thing around and to really bring people through this thing, not just dragging and not
We've
just
done it
dragging.
before.
We've done it before, and we
Exactly.
just have to remind ourselves of those things sometimes. So that's what we're taking the opportunity to do.
Wow.
Yeah, and it'll
That's
be some
beautiful.
practical application things, and then some things that's like getting to the heart of what we do and
Right.
why we do it, and
Okay.
then kind of hopefully walking out of here with our shoulders a little bit more broad,
Okay.
a little bit more sturdy to get out there and keep going.
Okay.
And we'll do it over and over again on repeat.
So how can somebody sign up?
You can sign up on any of my social media platforms,
Okay.
but quickest way, go to my website, which is www.transform.coach.
Okay.
And there's an events page there, and it has my workshop. And I have another one next month too, called
Okay.
Street Cred coming up. Street Cred and why it matters.
Wow.
So all about our reputation and how important that is,
Right.
to do what we got to do.
So let's talk about a challenge.
Sure.
It's 2025. We have this. Nobody can see putting my fingers in quotes.
Yes,
The president
your air-
has been elected. Yeah,
Yeah.
air quotes. Who's trying to become king.
Yeah.
He's just
Yeah.
writing the courts and everything. So I mean, how do you? I mean,
I think back to, this is funny because I think back to things like the Alexander Hamilton play, right? So what I think about is that makes me think about we've been here before. We haven't,
Right.
but we've been here before. And humanity has been here before.
So
And
when you say we
as in the
or-
country
Okay.
has been here before. And we made a decision last time that we didn't want the king. And it was that time it just exploded over tea.
Right.
Who knows what it's going to be? I think it's going to be over human bodies, in my opinion,
Right.
Because they're trying to put a genie back in the bottle that's not meant to go into,
Right.
and you're trying to create the bottle at the same time that you're trying to shove people in it. And although there are a lot of people who I feel are very misguided, very some of them are just hateful, and they're just going to do what they can do for the hate. But there's a big group of ignorant people.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best way to say it,
Yeah,
because they don't get it, they don't know, and the way that they're moving is one of those things that they're going to look back on how they were moving and go, oh my gosh.
A lot of them are doing it now.
Right, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
That we have a big group like that,
Right.
which is why this has so much push and it has so much movement. The actual group of true haters, like just hateful, bigoted, racist
Right. The maggots.
people, sexist,
Right.
misogynistic, they're smaller than even their whole base.
That's right. But we don't
But
think
their
it's the
whole
media.
base don't know anything but to go with what because they took abuse all their life too.
That's true.
We gotta just break that habit of thinking that that's the norm.
That's true.
It's not the norm, regardless if it's within our race or outside of our race. It's a humanity thing.
Exactly.
And so, as a country, as a people, as a world, we have to decide to quit devaluing certain people
Right.
in order to accomplish what we want to accomplish. We've got to get people bought in on the fact that I can succeed even while you succeed.
Right.
I can succeed even without you having to be under my foot.
Yes, it's not a zero-sum game.
And that's how it's treated. And so if people are raised with that mentality, and especially in Western cultures and ours, it's very individualistic. It's very everyone out for themselves.
Exactly.
Which is what I love about the group we were at tonight with Norpreneurship. It's like, it's a different kind of networking group. You know why you're here. You know you do want to make contacts that are going to help grow your business. But it is a relational situation. Like, you get to breathe. and it's not like you don't feel weird. You just
Right.
like, and there's other times we go into those spaces because that's what that space is for. So yeah, I'll go in there and work the room and do what I have to do,
Right.
but I don't have to look over my back in here. And in other places you kind of do.
Exactly.
And so it's nice to
Wow.
come here and just kind of
That's
So
nice.
yeah, I don't want a king. I don't think very many of us do, and I think that some of the ones who are saying they do don't really want a king, but they're more bought into their hate than they are to preserving even themselves.
Yes, that's true.
Because somebody told me so, because grandma told me so, and
Oh, yeah.
because the propaganda is working. Propaganda has its name for a reason, and it's worked on a lot of us. It's worked on a lot of us to believe what they say about us. We won't move like we can move because it's happened since we were little.
Exactly.
And it's just the system we've been in. So we're trying to wake up
Right.
and move outside of that while the world's trying to go backwards.
Right.
See, something's happening. The world's going backwards into a situation that
Right.
none of us want. Nobody really wants that.
That's true.
And they're getting exhausted too. Let's just be real.
A lot of the people that got released after January 6th have been back in jail.
Yes.
I heard some
And some of them are working for ICE.
Oh yeah. Okay. That's a shame. So.
Which is why they're keeping their faces covered.
Oh, see, I was going to say, stand your ground. What happens if a citizen decides to shoot one of these mass people?
100%, because that was the whole thing, right? Hadn't that been the mantra for a lot of years with people who are pro Second Amendment, pro small government,
Exactly.
like that each individual has a right to protect themselves,
Right.
their families, except for when I come to do this damage to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to value one another.
That's true.
And we've got to just be that example as hard as it is, because we be getting irritated, but we have to be example of what that looks like to love one another
Right.
with a fullness, but then love our neighbor too.
Right.
We got to do it.
That's right.
We got to do it, unless, because it's going to be kind of hard to split us all up.
That's
You know what I'm saying? We're not doing that. There's not going to be this side is this and this side is that.
Right.
There's too many of us.
Exactly.
We are a melting pot of many different cultures. I love it. That's what I love, the Pacific Northwest.
Okay.
I have family that is from the South. I can go home and visit.
Okay.
But I love being here where I can go get a different culture every other doorbell I ring almost, right? Beautiful.
Wow.
Beautiful. And
So
for
let's
those faith-based people, we believe that's how it's going to be in heaven too. So we practicing down here.
So you mentioned faith, and I mentioned before, I remember you saying before that you were a pastor at one point.
Yeah.
So let's break it down. Was
Yeah.
it Pentecostal? Was it Baptist?
We're non-denominational, but you would feel like we have more of a Pentecostal vibe. It's
Okay.
just we believe in the full entirety of the gospel and that application. We're not going to hold it back, in that regard, but we consider ourselves non-denominational because
Okay.
we don't assert ourselves to any particular denomination, because
Okay.
those denominations are just walls, right? And so we don't do that, but
Okay.
we're going to talk about the full thing. And so I was executive pastor at a local church here,
Okay.
over on the east side now, because we finally got a building, but we are brand new, like we're only like 4 years old.
Okay.
But some of us were doing life together in a different church before that,
Okay.
that did not survive COVID,
Ooh.
not because the doors had to close, but because we realized we were right next door and in the mix with racist and misogynist and people
Right.
who were okay with other people dying.
Hmm.
I mean, that was the hard truth of it. And
Right.
for me, as a mom and someone who was raising her children in this place where I trusted that I was around safe people, to find out, no, that's not the case.
Right.
And then become the target. My son became the target because he at the time was a youth pastor and his wife.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And, so it was just a whole big thing.
Yeah.
And it was just really heartbreaking.
Wow. That's shocking.
Coming soon, a book to tell the story, but
And a movie.
and that and some other things.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I will be launching my podcast pretty soon. It's called The Dynamic Pause. So I
Okay.
would love to have you guys on and talk
yeah.
about what you've done.
Okay.
Your story you told me today was so intriguing, and I would love
Thanks.
for people to hear those kinds of stories from people like us, so that they can know it already exists.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
the one thing, because I've been kind of, not to say I've been ashamed, but I've been trying to like hold myself back a little bit, because I'm living on SSDI, and I'm afraid that if Social Security finds out that I'm walking around doing stuff, they'll say, he can work.
Sure.
But no, I can't really, because my fatigue is really messed up.
Right.
My wife will approve, tend to.
Yeah.
I haven't face planted in a while, thank goodness. But I am going through some things. But aside from that, though, I would love to be on your podcast.
Yeah.
It'd be a great conversation. As a matter of fact, my wife and I had a podcast. We went to Seattle. We've shot 10 episodes at least.
Oh, yeah, we've recorded 10 episodes.
Yeah.
We just
Okay.
haven't gotten to editing.
To editing, yeah.
Yes, we can get going and talk for an hour. And I don't think anybody's going to listen to our stream of consciousness. 10 episodes of us talking,
You'd be surprised. Anyway.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, that's my thing coming out.
Okay.
The dynamic pause is also my coach approach that I use,
Okay.
and I've developed for myself. It's just kind of this whole overarching way that I approach my coaching clients with the pause to come in. It's because it's high performers. It's like pause to breathe is the first step of it, and it can take however little or long it takes for that particular client a pause to negotiate with what you learned in that breathing moment. Because something always is going to float to the top, and then a pause to innovate, because in that pause to negotiate, you're deciding what you're going to own. Because some stuff you're wanting to leave, and some stuff you're bringing with, and you're naming it, and you're saying, this is what it is, and it's mine. So then, in the innovating state, what am I doing with it now? And making that plan and actually start the road to doing that. So that's my coach approach. It is my podcast coming, which will be essentially speaking to having leaders on who kind of been in various parts of the pause. And then the book of the same name, not the one I mentioned before, but talking about that coach approach, and that is in process as well.
Can relax. All right. Let me see. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so just picking up at that part with the podcast coming, and then the coach approach to match, and then the book to support the coach approach is in the process too. So it's like a lot of stuff happening this year. I'm excited for, and yeah.
So is there a charge for this? Are you charging for coaching? Can insurance cover this, or is it?
I don't have any ability to do insurance yet. One day. I haven't looked into it yet, so I know that would be beneficial for a lot of people. The
sliding scale. I mean, what's the?
I right now have for this group, ACE partners and NOR memberships get half off of my one-to-one coaching sessions right now.
All right. And roughly how much is that? I mean,
like it'll be about 75 a session.
A session. Okay. All right.
And a session's around 50 minutes.
Okay. Cool. So is there a phone number you want to give, or a website?
Yes, you can reach me at that website that I talked about, same website as the event. You can sign up, just reach out to me about inquiring about services. It's the same thing. It's best to do it through there, because then I have it like in a physical, tangible way. But if you want to give me a call, that is fine too. You can do that at 253-620-0815 to connect with my cell, or 206-486-6638 for the business line.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
Great meeting you.
Awesome.
I'm sure we'll meet again.
Yeah, we'll meet again. Yes.
God bless you, sister.
Appreciate it.
Be well.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for agreeing to.
Of course.
Yeah, thanks again for going to do this.
Oh.
Look, in season, out of season. You gotta be ready.
That's right.